Hi everybody, it's Rubies, Real Rubies. Tomorrow is my birthday. I'll be 65 years young, and that's why I'm doing this video. I'm doing it from my sticks and bricks. It's been kind of cold, and as you guys know, I don't like to travel in the cold. I pretty much use the winter time to, if I'm not going south to Florida, I pretty much just stay at home because I'm not a traveler in the winter. I'm not a cold camper. I just don't like it. So I just wanted to do a video for everyone today. I've been getting a lot of questions on my YouTube channel, and normally I don't talk a lot about my personal life, but I've been getting questions about my personal life. So I figured, well, you know, you guys are my subs and you're my peeps and you're my tribe, so you deserve answers to your questions. And, you know, a lot of the questions are related to my, you know, my status. They want to know, you know, am I married? You know, am I, you know, have I ever been married? And blah, blah, blah. Well, obviously I have had relationships with men because I have children. Hello. And I talk about that all the time. So yeah, I pretty much want to answer some of those questions today. So I'm going to look at some of the questions that I've gotten on my YouTube channel, and I'm going to answer them. So the last one I got, the last question I got, they just came right out and asked me, are you married? And I'm like, you know, no, you know, I'm not married. I'm single. And I've been single for a long time. And I've been married twice. I have 2 children and a grandson, and no grandbabies other than that yet. But my son and his wife got married 2 years ago, so I'm thinking they might soon be ready to start a family. So yeah, I'm single. I'm a solo female traveler, and I enjoy it. I like being alone. I like being by myself. I enjoy time by myself. And that's the subject of this video more than anything, is how to deal with loneliness. Now for me, I don't get lonely. Being straight up honest with you. Normally, under normal circumstances, I do not get lonely. However, this Christmas was hard for me because my mom died, and she was always my go-to person. I'd call her up on the phone and I'd tell her all my problems and I'd confide in her, and she would give me her loving, non-judgmental advice. Well, now she's gone. And so yeah, I was lonely this Christmas, this past Christmas. The holidays were hard for me because of that. So I was lonely. And I even started thinking about, like, maybe I should join a dating site or something and start dating, you know. I haven't been with anyone in over 20 years. Maybe I should start to rethink that whole thing. So the reason for this video is to just remind all you people that are alone right now, independent people that do not have relationships, that is the wrong reason to get into a relationship, is because you're lonely. Nothing good ever comes out of that. The most important thing and the most important relationship that you really need to have, number one, is with God, you know, your vertical relationship with God. But number 2 is with you. If you're not comfortable being alone and being with yourself, that's a problem, you know, because how can you really love someone else if you don't know how to love yourself? So I don't have that problem because I like to be alone with myself, which is why I travel alone, me and my dog Ted. You know, I'm comfortable being by myself. I enjoy my own company. But it's kind of like this. If you can't be comfortable with yourself and being alone with yourself, you know, you're going to settle for dysfunctional relationships. You're going to end up getting into dysfunctional relationships. And dysfunction can be, you know, many different things. It can be someone that's a chronic liar, someone that never really gives you any encouragement, a narcissist, someone that is all about themselves and not about you, and now you're in this relationship with that person, your kids met that person, you know, and now you have to stay in the relationship. You feel like you've invested in the relationship, and now you have to stay in it, And you also feel like if you don't have it, you're going to be alone again. Well, guess what, guys? It's better to be alone than to be with someone who lies to you, someone you can't trust, someone you can't, confide in, someone who's always putting you down or telling you, negative things about yourself. You don't need to be in that kind of a relationship. So it's better for you to be independent and be on your own than to do something like that. So what I would recommend you do if you struggle with this area is get used to being by yourself. Take some time and look at your criteria that you have in friendships, like friendships, people that you're friends with now. What do you look for in those relationships? Well, number one, I anyway look for honesty. To me, honesty is the best policy. And I want honesty in my friendships. So guess what? You're your best friend. So you should look at honesty with yourself. You should want to have honesty, with you as well. And I took a few notes here on my laptop so I don't forget what I mean by that. But honesty. Gently tell yourself that you have made mistakes, but that's okay. Be honest with yourself. Don't deny the fact that you made the mistakes and live in like la la land, like you never did these things. But give yourself forgiveness. Offer yourself forgiveness and love. And just say, it's okay. I made mistakes. This one guy that I married was a real jerk. I should have never married him. He was a liar. All the red flags were there. I still married him. And then we had a tumultuous relationship. Forgive yourself for that mistake. Forgive yourself for that and love yourself. So that's the most important thing. That's number one. Number two is encouraging. I look for friends that are encouraging to me, that are going to build me up. And trust me, guys, narcissists don't do that because they do everything the opposite of that. They're going to try to build you down, tear you down, make you feel bad about yourself. And tell yourself that you don't have to be that person and give yourself credit for how far you've come. You don't have to be that person that you used to be anymore, and give yourself credit that you've come a long way and encourage yourself in that way. So encourage you, your best friend. Let yourself know that, hey, I've come a long way, but guess what? I don't have to stay that way. I don't have to stay in that rut that I was in when I was married to that guy or in that friendship with that person. I got to give myself some credit for how far I've come and how I've developed as a person. Pat yourself on the back, pick yourself up, and love yourself, okay? Because if you can be happy and content being with yourself, you will be a better partner in the future. That is so true. Because how can you give yourself to someone when you're not forgiving your own self for mistakes that you made in the past? So to me, that's really, really important. And don't accept these dysfunctional and destructive relationships so you don't have to be alone, That is never going to end well. You are better off being alone with yourself, sitting by a campfire, and enjoying your own company. So that's my advice, guys, is get to be happy with yourself. The way I do that is I take my camping trips. I go out in my little Ruby van. I enjoy cooking. I enjoy nature. I enjoy meeting new people and, hanging out in different spots and seeing new things. So for me, I'm healing myself. I'm taking care of myself. I'm nurturing myself. And that's what you want to do. Because the worst thing you can do is start to beat yourself up over things that you've done wrong in the past. Because that condemnation kills. And that'll come into your mind. And you'll start to get depressed. Okay? And depression leads to bad things. It leads to drug addiction, alcoholism. It leads to suicide. Some people even go as far as taking their own lives. They get that depressed. They get that down on themselves for mistakes that they've made or things that they should have done differently with their kids. You know what, guys? If you knew half of these families situations that they're dealing with, you wouldn't be looking at these other families that look like they have the perfect life. You wouldn't be doing that, because you need to know that every family unit has their share of dysfunction and problems. So you're not the only one dealing with that. So that's the first thing, is understand that everybody has problems. Everybody has situations in their families that are, not always the best situations. But on Facebook and all this social media, they don't say that stuff. They're only putting pictures of everybody all happy and together on trips and doing this and doing that. And so you feel like the black sheep. You feel like, am I the only one that's dealing with this kind of thing? No, you're not. You are not alone, okay? And when you need a friend, you can call Ruby. You could call me, and you could email me or text me, private message me. I'll be happy to talk to you. But never, ever feel like you're alone, because you're not. So, yeah, loneliness is real, but it's how you deal with loneliness. You don't have to go out and do things if you're lonely. You could stay in your home and find joy within your own home. Like, you could rearrange a closet, you could paint a room. If it's wintertime, there's not a lot you can do outside. So you could do things inside like that make you feel better. For me, if I clean my house, somehow that makes me feel better. I know that sounds weird, but it just does. So don't sit around and be depressed and think about taking your own life. Because if you're doing that, you need to seek help immediately. If you even think that thought, you need to call and you need to get help. You need to get help. A local church, a good friend, a family member that you could talk to, someone that you could talk to. They have suicide hotlines. Don't sit there and let the enemy come in and steal your joy and get you to that point. You have to go and get help for yourself. So that's what this video is. It's a very serious video, and I'm telling you a lot of personal things, but you're asking me these questions on my comments, and I feel like I owe you guys these answers. And yes, I'm alone, and yes, I don't have a significant other or a boyfriend or a husband, but I'm happy. I'm joyful. I like being alone. I love my own self. I'm comfortable in my own skin. I don't need to be with a man to be happy. So yeah, guys, you can do it. Just embrace yourself, forgive yourself, love yourself. You are enough. You are enough. And you don't need other people's approval, to know that. You need to know that in your own heart. And then you won't be seeking out friendships and relationships that are destructive anymore, because you will love yourself too much for that. So I love you guys. I hope this video blessed you or helped you in some way, because I shared a lot of my personal life with you today, but I felt like someone needed to hear it. So God bless you, and hang in there. And if you need a friend, I'm right here. I'm right here. Okay? God bless you, and I'll see you down the road.